Hi everyone, Mr. Mark here again. Nice to see all of you guys. I really miss coming and seeing you guys in your classes, and I really hope that we'll get to see you again soon. So today I've got a really special story to read to you. It's a fun story, and it's about how cool it is to be kind. So stay tuned for that story. Before I read you the story though, I want us to use our imaginations, okay? So it was nice and warm this past weekend, and now it's a little cooler. And when it's cool out, what's really nice to have is some hot soup. Now I want you to imagine that I have been cooking some hot soup over my fire here. If you see, I've got a fire next to me. And let's pretend that I've been cooking some of your favorite hot soup over this fire. And I'm going to take my ladle here, and I'm going to dip it in, and I'm going to serve you a nice bowl of hot soup. There we go, holding out your bowl. That's good. Maybe a little bit more. Let me give you a little bit more. Ready? So here, hold out your bowl, and I'm going to pour the soup in. Good work. Keep your steady hand there. Now, I'd like you to pretend you got the soup in front of you, and you have a spoon. But the soup is really, really hot. So you don't want to eat it just yet. But what we can do is we can smell the soup, and then we can go, because we know that our favorite soup smells so good. I'm going to get my singing bowl, and I'm going to pretend that it's got soup inside it too. But you have your imaginary bowl there using your imagination, and when you hear the sound of the singing bowl, smell your soup, and after you smell it, taking a nice deep breath in, then I want you to go, because that soup smells so good. Ready? Let's do it together. Smell. That is good smelling soup. Let's use our imagination again. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Smell deeply. Yes, that is good smelling soup, and go, And one last time. Ready? Now, you have your spoon. Let's just take a little bit of the soup. Let's blow on it really gently. Taste it. That is hot. That is really hot soup. So you know what I want you to do? I want you to take your imaginary soup bowl, open up the cupboard that's up there, and put your soup bowl in the imaginary cupboard, okay? So it's going to wait up there and cool a little bit while I read the story to you. So the story I have for you today, it's called The Cool Bean. And this is a story by Jory John, and the pictures are by a guy named Pete Oswald. And it's a great fun story. So if you just pay close attention, you can enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. It's called The Cool Bean. Watch out. Here come the cool beans. The cool beans. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses. Yow! The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, from town to town, and even beyond county lines. Well, in the olden days, last year, we were all one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked out. Yep, those were the good old days. You can see them relaxing in their pod. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. You spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. Well, I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, become the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. One of them could play the guitar. Cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes. Cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known. Cool! Me? Well, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes, like I wore sunglasses, but they were too big. I slicked my hair back, but it was too slick. I strutted around. Ouch! Banged his toe. And I swaggered. Whoa! He slipped on a banana peel. Well, I was still picked last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. Honk! And I walked into stuff. Oof! I was an uncool bean for sure. I started thinking of myself as just a common bean with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. I'd never be a cool bean. It seemed like there were only two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans, and then there were beans like me. The days all blended together. I lived my life, and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. And the cool beans continued being cool. Well, I mean, I missed them a lot. But it's not like I was going to say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship. And that's how it went until one day I was in the cafeteria and I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Oh no, not again, I said. But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod. That was it. Later, I was out in the playground and I tripped and scraped my knee, and maybe I cried a little bit, and everybody saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher called on me. Everybody stared, and I sat there in silence. Nobody said anything. And then everybody just laughed at me. That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been. But then one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. Then she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. It was a small gesture, but it was also everything. I walked home with a goofy smile on my face. I smiled all the way through dinner. That day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad, if not for the kindness of a few cool beans. It gave me a shred of confidence. That shred of confidence has continued to grow and grow and grow. Somebody had my back, or a few somebodies. After that, I started hanging out with the cool beans again. How have you been? Get it? How have you been? Not all the time, but sometimes. Sometimes at lunch, and sometimes after school, and even sometimes on weekends. Throughout all this, I realized that it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink or a nod or a smile at just the right moment. It's about dusting somebody off, helping them up again, and pointing them in the right direction. As you can see here, he's picking this guy up and he says, "You need a hand? Now that's cool." The end. So you can see in the story that he was really a very cool being himself because he had a lot of kindness in him. and when you are kind to people, that's a way of really being cool. So remember, in your family, with your friends, always try and be as kind. And that way, you could be a cool being too. So now, I'd like to share with you guys that last week I read a book called The Most Magnificent Thing. And in this book, I asked some people afterwards, after I read it, to make some most magnificent things. And some people sent them to me. They sent me pictures of their stuff. And I'd like to share those pictures with you guys now. So stay tuned for some of the most magnificent things that people made and shared.
That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I?
Weren't they fantastic? Wasn't that so great? I'm really, really impressed with some of those things that people made. That took a lot of imagination and a lot of creativity, so keep that up. Now, I want you guys to all use your imagination now again, and let's go and reach up into our cupboard, and let's take down that delicious bowl of soup that I made for you, okay? So I want you to hold on to that bowl of soup. Make sure you have your spoon close at hand, too, and let's enjoy just smelling the soup 3 times together, okay? And this time, instead of going afterwards, we're going to help to cool it down a little bit more by blowing on it a bit, okay? So when you hear the sound of the singing bowl, we're going to smell it, and afterwards we'll blow gently, gently on the soup to help cool it down. Ready? Smelling. And then blow on it gently. It's good to cool it down. Well done. Let's do it again, okay? Use your imagination. Try and see if you can really smell that soup. Smelling. And take a long time to blow on it to cool down. Cool down that soup. Keep blowing on it. Oh yeah, it's cooling down really nicely now. One more time. And gently. Good work. And take your spoon and let's dip it in. Let's try that soup. That is some good soup. Listen, enjoy. It's so nice to see you guys again today, and I hope that I'll get to see you soon in person. But until then, I'll keep making some videos and finding some fun stories to read and singing some songs. And today I didn't have a song for you, but that was a great song. Maybe we'll learn that song that you heard today that went along with all of the most magnificent things that people made, okay? So stay tuned. Hope to see you again soon. Stay well and stay safe. And all the best to you and your family, okay? Bye!